Hello everyone. So I've come out of hibernation for this news, as you can see, because this is some of the most ridiculous news in a while regarding Xbox and Microsoft. So I'm going to get into this and I'm going to immediately throw you into the deep end, the absolute worst part of this. And then after I go over exactly what is going on here, I want to share my theory on why Microsoft has basically completely lost their collective minds, or so it seems. So Microsoft put out a huge update to Game Pass and they changed a few things, mostly about Game Pass Ultimate, but price-wise, Game Pass Ultimate is going from $20 a month, which, mind you, is already a lot, in my opinion, to $30 a month. And the two tiers below Ultimate are staying the same, with Essential being $10, Premium being $15. Like, wow. And so, Game Pass... And the two tiers below Ultimate are staying the same, with Essential being $10 and Premium being $15. Like, wow. And so, Game Pass Ultimate is trying to soften the blow of this by including Fortnite Crew, which... if you don't know, is a subscription in Fortnite that essentially gives you every battle pass as long as you're subscribed. So you get a bit more than that, but the rest is kind of irrelevant to this. And also included with a Game Pass Ultimate is this. Get ready for this one, guys. A Ubisoft Plus subscription. So you can see how they are really trying to justify and add value to this $30 tier of Game Pass, but it's like not sufficient at all. Also, can I just say, does anyone care about Ubisoft Plus? Is anyone at all on the entire planet subscribed to Ubisoft Plus? And does anyone want that? I mean, I don't think that, like, that doesn't add any value because no one fucking wants that. They make the worst games every year. Anyway, getting off topic. But the problem with this is that it doesn't matter what you package with Game Pass Ultimate. The reality is, no one is going to cough up $30 a month for temporary games, dude. Especially not in the US economy specifically. That is just ludicrous. 20 is way too much, in my opinion, already, and they increased it by $10, which is like 50%. Well, like, what is happening? So I have a theory of why they're doing this, but I will get to that a bit later in the video. I just want to get through the actual news aspect of this. So a lot of people talking about the announcement and the changes to Game Pass on Twitter and stuff, and pretty much Reddit, pretty much everywhere, to be honest. I saw a lot of people saying they're done paying for Ultimate and it's just not worth it at all anymore. And honestly, this surprised me because I kind of assumed that, like, I don't know, 90% of Game Pass subscribers were one of the two lower tiers, but I guess more people were subbed to Ultimate than I realized. Tons of people are saying they're done with Game Pass, and no, I don't mean lowering tiers, I mean canceled. Like, they are no longer putting any money towards Game Pass, a lot of people. And actually, according to this tweet and screenshot from Wario64, the Game Pass cancellation page was frozen for a lot of people because so many people are visiting this page that it's overloaded. That is insane. So seemingly these people replying and claiming, oh, I'm canceling, oh, I'm done. They are not lying, they're not bluffing, they are actively canceling and trying to cancel their subscriptions. Something absolutely insane is that GameStop recently announced that through GameStop, Game Pass Ultimate will remain $20 a month instead of $30 a month, which I would think is illegal. I wouldn't think Microsoft would let them do that, because like how do you just not comply with updated prices? But what do I know? It doesn't matter. If it is legal, which I guess it is, great decision, really. I mean, good business move as well. So I have more to say about this piece of news, but I'm going to get through the other bit of news here before I rant for 5 minutes. So they released an entirely AI-generated video, this was around like the same time, with a bunch of kids talking about how cool it would be to have an all-digital future with no cartridges or physical games.
Dating simmer date.
I think the game of tomorrow shall require no disc, no cartridge, just vibes.
It is genuinely dystopian. It's horrible. I'll have a link to this awful video, this nightmare, in the description. What is this shit, dude? And yes, this is entirely AI.
Is this made with AI? This is the worst thing I've ever seen. Please delete it. Not only using garbage AI, but pushing for all digital. Holy shit. You guys make it so hard to keep supporting this platform.
Did you make this shit with AI?
If you just give it a closer look at their lips and stuff like that, the voice, obviously, you could just tell it's AI. It's very obvious. I mean, and all the replies are just like, man, how low has Microsoft gotten? I already knew Microsoft had no redemption, but I think this ludicrous price for Game Pass Ultimate really is like the nail in the coffin. I know people say that a lot about literally everything for every company, but I really do think Microsoft's gaming division is like maybe a year, if even. and they're gonna shut that shit down. Maybe a bit longer, I don't really know, but I think that it's done. It's certain death. Oh, and by the way, after this 50% price increase of Ultimate, people have reported getting an ad, and you know, they screenshotted this, like this isn't like alleged, getting an ad on boot up of an Xbox of any kind, Series S or X, of Game Pass Ultimate, just completely full screen, covering your entire screen after the boot up. And even when you get past it, if you don't have Game Pass already, they advertise Game Pass to you to hell and back on the home screen. It's crazy. It really is. And if you're a subscriber to Game Pass, you may have noticed this. I've seen people saying that after the price increase, they got an email saying how cool and awesome and amazing Game Pass is now after the changes they've just done to the service, and they conveniently leave out the information about pricing completely. That's what I've heard, and I've seen an article about that too, so I believe it is true. So now I'm going to get into my theory of why I think Microsoft is being blatantly greedy right now with this, recently with this generation. I think they know just as well as we do that it's over for Xbox, and that there is no redemption. The beginning of this generation, they seemingly were trying to appeal to budget gamers with like the Series S was a quote-unquote next-gen console for lower asking price than, you know, the PS5 and the Series X. And same with Game Pass. It was still pretty fair pricing in my opinion, and the whole concept of Game Pass kind of feels like a budget gamer thing in the first place. Like, you know, you get a whole library of games, just pretty fair price a month. You get a whole library. If, you know, it's better for people that don't want to break the bank on video games, basically. So like that appeals to budget gamers, I imagine. So, and they also had that thing with Game Pass in the beginning where you could just get an entire month for $1, and I abused that completely because for some reason you would get the $1 deal. It said you could only get it once. Maybe I missed something. I literally got that $1 deal like multiple times a year back when that was a thing, and I would just completely abuse that. Like that's the only time I would use Game Pass. So since this strategy has very clearly not worked out for them, you know, appeal to the people that don't want to spend as much money, right? Actually, nothing's worked out for them if we're being real, but I think they are just swinging the complete and utter opposite direction with their business strategy as one last desperate attempt to throw at the wall to see if it sticks. So instead of trying to be more affordable, they decided to inflate the prices of everything Xbox, hoping they get a bigger payout from the 6 people on planet Earth that do buy their shitty ass hardware and software. They have raised the prices of all models of the consoles twice within like 6 months or so, which is like wild. The Xbox ROG Ally is also $1,000, but that could be argued that it's worth it because it's a ROG Ally. I don't really know, to be honest. I wouldn't know. But regardless, it strays away from the original business strategy, which is making things just a little bit more affordable. Like, guys, they are not doing this because they think it'll work. They're doing this because they legitimately don't know what the fuck else to do. I really do believe that. You know, when you try to do something, accomplish something, could be anything really, big or small, and you keep trying new methods of making this thing work out, and it just doesn't. The more the failures pile up, the less hope you have that this will ever work out. And when you've tried everything your mind can muster, well, in this case, an entire corporation can muster, eventually you just say, look, this simply is not going to work out. So you may think like, that's it, I'll throw one last thing at the wall that I'm pretty sure will not work, but just in case a miracle happens, I'm gonna do this one last desperate attempt. That is Microsoft right now. They know it's over. They don't expect anyone to be okay with these changes, I don't think. At least in my opinion, that is what I think is going on here. So even if they revert the price of this due to backlash, which they've done in the past, by the way, well, when they've done major price increases and people got angry, I think the damage has already been done to even the most loyal fans, because even they know where Microsoft's head is at this point, and no one likes being disrespected like this. Just, yeah, give us money because fuck you, and that's it. We're not going to give you anything on offer to make this worth the price tag, but give it to us because we want you to. We all know every company sees us as just dollar signs, right? Like, everyone knows that, nothing more really, right? They're not the exception, but they are not hiding it anymore. That's the difference. This is so blatant and in your face at this point. Like, Sony is really greedy too, but at least people like Herman Hulst pretend to care about what we want. Like, they act like, hey, we're here to keep PlayStation what it is and what you guys want. Like, at least they act like they want to please people. Microsoft literally is not. Like, they actually don't care anymore. But that's about it. That's the news, and that's my theory. I haven't seen anyone else think of this or throw this idea around or anything. So if someone already has theorized this, I swear I am not just taking credit for some shit I copy and pasted into a video. Let me know if this is anywhere near believable. It makes a lot of sense to me, but maybe I'm delusional. Who knows? So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.